Alright, so Emma's back. Emma, the defense is an objection, a scientific objection, right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SLN incident referred to the Joe Dart killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found in Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again. So, did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright, with regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I'm going to object, obviously, but I need to figure out what it is. That handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something's missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. So let's pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing on the floor plans? Can I fucking see this? Thank you. There's actually the ability to hide it. Well, let me think. Remember, there's a bloody handprint there. Now, in the video, I said the handprint couldn't be there because the badger was in the way. Oh, it's the badger. Yeah, wait a minute. Okay, so on the video, which was recorded at 5:15, it showed the badger was in front of this locker. So, if the badger was in front of it, there was no way that when Marshall was leaving, that he could have left a bloody handprint there. And this also leads into the other evidence. Remember we were saying when we tested the floor, it looked like there was a significant amount of blood on the floor, like a blood pool. Well, how could that all have just come from Meekin's hand? It had to have come from something else. So what that means is, maybe there was actually was a murder in here. Which still doesn't make any sense, because that means there were 2 murders of the same guy again. But for now, I don't need to figure that out. All I need to say is the badger. What about that piece of plywood? The blue badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? Ooh. That's right. So long as the blue badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. What? Rubble, 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 rubble. So that means, just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in? Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice! Not twice, but thrice! I'm kidding. One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time, someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous! I refute you! Aha! The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, it does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. Oh, double objection! So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, then did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To surmise, the defense claims that prior to the Officer Meekins being... I said to surmise instead of summarize. Prior to Officer Meekins being caught by Jake Marshall, who was disguised as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? Proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? Now this is easy. The only way that you can prove when it took place, remember, look at this. We've got one person who we don't know who it was. That has to have been when it took place. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the perpetrator would have to have entered the room. In order to do so, an ID card is required. An ID card. Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miles? Miles Edgeworth, what have you done? I never figured you had nerve, boy. Put off the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. I told you, it's that empty spot. We don't know who that is. There's only one other card number remaining, 7777777, and it was at 4:20, so it must have been Rob Van Dam. It's indisputable evidence. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777. That's one 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. Gee, now let's just put two and two together. Obviously, it's going to be the chief. He's the only higher up involved in this case. He says, but that's ridiculous. Just how? Now, I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted, an official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. Rubble. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I'd appreciate it if you keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay, let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 777777.